Welcome back to Shopping Street by Lego Icons. This is set number 11371. Contains 3,456 pieces. And this set was provided by the Lego Group for the review. Thank you, Lego. And yeah, that's what we've done so far. So what you see here is bags 1 through 6. And this is going to be the 4th build installment in this series. And so far I'm pretty pleased with this set. It's at a very loose 9 right now, which means that it could tip to 8 real easily. Basically, there's been a few pieces flaking off, but mostly I'm kind of bummed out about some of the scuffed glass, especially on this door here. I'm just not too happy with that. But other than that, the build experience is really good. And here's the deal, if you don't like a lot of small pieces, this is probably not the set for you. But I'm just plugging away at it here. So in this build installment today, we're going to be focusing on bags 7 and 8, which I have right here. And yeah, I think we are ready to go. And so far we already put together 4 minifigures. Not too bad at all. Okay, let's begin with bag 7. Let's build it. It has been mighty cold here, and oh, I only see a lot of big pieces, but only 1 bag? We might get lucky and there's not a whole lot of parts. Oh, there's some glass in there. Uh-oh, I have a feeling this is going to drop down to an 8 real quick. Real quick. We won't know, but let's pour this out real fast here. Alright. Now we got some small pieces. That's kind of average. It's not like we're getting overwhelmed with it. Alright, let's see here. Well, slight scuff. I'm not going to worry about that. And that's just dust. And let's see here. Any more of that hidden in there? No? Well, okay. Still at a 9. That's good. Alright, so looks like we are continuing back on with the furniture shop. And yeah, so we're back over here. Let me get this situated so I can work on this better so you and I can both see together. Okay, we'll get that going there. I'm hoping this is going to be a quick installment. The last one was pretty long. This one I'm hoping I let you out a little early today. Alright, so here we go. We're already starting with the small stuff first, but now that's how it is with one of these. You know, we got to start off somewhere. Had one of those frozen lasagna dinners tonight, and today is the 20th of November 2025. So I survived through the work year. I won't go back to work till next year, so that's better. But right now, my main goal is to focus on this tonight and see if I can get it done before I wind down and get on Discord. And yeah, first I got to, I need a 1x2. This is like pumpkin pie colors here. But I've been pretty happy with the set. It's not boring or dry or anything like that. It's been pretty fun to put together. And I have that whole workbench over there, and I'm kind of cluttered up into a corner over on this side. Now these videos are not to be construed or considered as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes for the review. So yeah, I have to read that off. Alrighty, so today I'd like to focus on pretty much wrapping up the first floor of this. I hope it's like complete isolation, because we might be able to squeeze 3 or 4 builders out of this at one time. Would be really cool. That'd be really nice to do that. Alright, and we need a brick with a holder. Hey, this is my type of building right here. We're using big pieces because that doesn't bother me one bit. I ain't going to complain about that because I need building blocks to build my stuff. And before anybody says, well, Jay, this set's not meant for you. Yeah, well, today it is. So that's what I am looking for. Alright. Hey, at least now we're doing the big stuff before we get back to the small stuff here. Okay. And I'm looking for a 1x3. But I've been pretty pleased with this set. It's not boring or anything like that. I'm trying to try my best to show all the steps, all that stuff. So I've been just kind of working around, enjoying my day off. This is not my first, tomorrow will be my first day off. And I cannot wait. Alright, so we got to put our glass in the window frames. Alright, put that down there. And these are dark brown. I thought they were black, but these are dark brown. That's really a nice color to grab a hold of there. Place that one there. And this one right here. Hope that's not a tall tale sign. My nose is getting ready to run. It's starting to itch. I'm like, uh-oh. And then we need to get 5 2x2s and stack these on top of one another. Now this is my kind of building right here. No little tiny parts, just big pieces. But I already peaked in bags 7 and 8 in terms of holding them up to the light. Bag 8's going to have a lot of small parts. It has 2 little paper bags inside. So I hope that's not bad news. Okay, now let's see. Looking for another one of those bricks with the holder. All right. But I've been pretty pleased with this set. It's not boring or anything. It's just some parts can get a little involved. Been playing around with the TV tuner, and I got a bunch of stations in. Got that working. Pretty pleased with it. I just need to get some of the logos cleaned up. And now, yeah, we got to make 2 of those, and that's in dark brown, those clips, which is nice. I thought they were black, but hey, that's fine by me. I could always use some oddball colors. Yeah, I cannot wait to actually enjoy my time off. Okay, so we got that little piece there built, and then we're going to set that right in there. It's probably something that's going to hang on to that. See, when there's big and small pieces mixed in, it's not terribly bad. My problem is when they have all the little pieces mixed in with the big stuff. It's like, ouch. I mean, like, you have to do all the small stuff first, then the big stuff, and it gets kind of annoying. But at least now I don't have to get annoyed. I thought they had 1x6s in this color. I think Lego, honestly, was trying to fluff up part count on this one. I think they were just trying to artificially inflate this set here. Okay. I gotta put these in here. Alright. Yeah, I have to find some movies to watch or something tonight. Yeah, last night I was dozing off to Renegade, which was an old show back from the 90s. I just dozed off to that. I couldn't sleep because it was my last day I had to deal with doing work stuff. And I was like, I'm going to doze off to that. Oh, there's the rat. Alright. And right now I can't even I'm working on this rack to hold all my network gear up. And every time I go in there to work on it, is the internet down? Yeah, I'm putting this thing in. Can you wait? I'm just like, okay, fine. Then I get, when are you going to clean up all the wires hanging out of the wall in here? I don't know when everybody's done using the internet. Yeah, if it's my place, I wouldn't care. If I was living here alone, but, well, I don't have that option anymore. Okay, so, yeah. Alright, now it looks like we're putting ourselves together another chair. A red one. So let's get going on that there, because I want to get this going. Small parts again. I think what's really annoying is you're looking for some really weird... Wait, I almost said a bad word there. Gonna have to probably filter that out. Some weird Smurf stuff here we're gonna have to deal with. Jay, you're saying bad words again, I know, right? Well, try not to. I was trying to get my bunch to go out for a dinner tonight, but they did not want to do anything. So I just said, fine. I said, it's my day off. I said, now we're done. I can stay up late, watch TV. And I said, let's go do something. Can we do something later? Or I don't want to do it now. I'm just like, okay, fine. Yeah, we got a chair that's holding a hot dog, huh? Like that. And then now, set that down off to the side there. We always have to do something small every time. And I'm just like, yeah, I really don't want to. I don't want to work on the chairs right now, but I got to do them. And then this one here goes right on this leg here. Well, Lego, I hate to think I'm going to have to drop this thing down to an 8.5 just because of some goofy chair that we're literally just putting part. I mean, these are little parts. I mean, we're not even... The big stuff is over now. So I guess it's like that. Sorry if I didn't show that. Somebody will complain about it. We'll leave that up to them. I can't show everything, guys. Usually the ones who complain about it don't want to buy me the GoPro. The strap on my head so you can see a better angle of this. I could use the funding for that, but I'd be spending more on that. I'd like to get some parts so I can build some more stuff for you guys. Very risky. I think that's what it's supposed to be, like that. I mean... okay, these are actually supposed to swing all the way back into here. Oh, I hate to think I'm going to have to spend all night on this goofy thing. It looks like we will here. Somebody always usually comes and says, Jay, why do you spend so much time on these little builds? I don't know. Just to make that goofy little chair there. I mean, the back's not too bad. It's just a little kind of piecey. And it looks like this one here just sits right in this area right here on that jumper plate. That faces out the window. Maybe that's a timeout chair, we don't know. Okay, now it looks like we're hanging some kind of dividers here on that white rod. And we will put the blue in first. Okay, right here. They just kind of swing into place. The next one is the cool yellow. Maybe it's fabric samples. Not sure. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we're building a very big wall right there. Let's get going. Let's build that. All right. We still got plenty of little parts left, so obviously we're going to be doing more here. Hope it's not too bad. All right. I like this dark orange. This is a really nice color to grab a hold of when you're building furniture and stuff. But everybody's probably wondering, where am I at on Discord? I'm doing this right now, because I don't ever get to sit down at night. Yeah, this is kind of like a bedside build. It's more like an evening build, not a bedside. Usually bedsides usually start at 10 o'clock. This one's not bedside yet. Okay. That's my kind of building right there. Just big pieces. I don't want to have to mess with it. And then this big piece goes right in here. I'm just going to tip it into the bottom and just kind of roll it in. That takes care of that. And then now it looks like we got a bunch of gray plates put on top of this one. Now it's starting to it's not so drafty now. Just pretend that we just cut out the draft on it. It means it still can snow and rain in that little hole. We don't want that to happen. So yeah, but I'm hoping to finish all these review offers up as promptly as I can. So they could have put a 1x6 in here, but they got several 1x3s. I mean, I think Lego was just trying to fluff this one out as much as they can. Just to say, look, you're getting a lot of parts. Okay. Now we're going to focus our attention back here. Okay, it looks like we're building ourselves a downspout. So well, let's just get going on it, because I'm not quite sure what we're doing here, but you all remember the cast piece. The one you put on the friends dolls, they always got injured. Well, that one, there it is. Maybe we got to wrap a cast around the leaky pipes. Maybe that's the asbestos that we're not supposed to ever talk about. Especially if you're around my age, maybe older, where you had the asbestos inside the classrooms. So the asbestos tiles and the lead paint stuff is always extra yummy. Okay. Maybe it goes like this. Well, how does it even go on there? Huh. Maybe it goes like that. And then after that, oh, I see. So it looks like somebody was wrapping asbestos on that, huh? Lego! Well, I can't get it on there. Okay, which way does that thing go in there? Okay, I got this thing kind of twisted sideways. I gotta pop that off. It's these little things that will get you here. Not sure why, maybe it's just meant to be a drain pipe or something, but there we go, something like that there. I think that's all that this is here. Make it look like it's been taped at the bottom. Maybe the plumber did that. Use plumber's tape for that. Okay, now it looks like we're building ourselves a little dumpster. Those are always cool. A friend of mine, he uses his most scratched, beat up pieces to make the dumpsters. Like where they're all stained and stuff, to make them look like they've kind of been through a hell and back. So he does that to kind of give it more character, which is pretty cool. I was wondering what the blue parts were for. Now we know what they're for. It's like, what are we building? Some kind of blue chair? We got everything in there. We had that blue stool, but... And, okay, what's next? Alright, we got to flip it over and put some of those fake wheels on the bottom. Or just... That's what the hole is for the rat to go through there. As a matter of fact, Lego, you got to bring out a wig you got to bring out a wig with a rat tail. You got mullets. Let's bring out the rat tail. Let's bring it back. Let's make the rat tail awesome again. I won't get it, but I knew people in school who did have it. Especially when they have their head pretty much like a buzz cut, and you saw this rat tail hanging off the back. You know. I'm really surprised they don't make a 2x4 variant of this piece. I've been kind of wanting those, but they don't have them, sadly. It's been pretty cold out here. Even the heater's been flipping on too. So we'll stick that in there. There's the dumpster. It's very basic too. But that's what it is. It's pretty durable. If you had the things on the side, this would work good with a dump truck. A perfectly good classic chair is thrown away in the bin. Let's see if we can salvage it. Oh, where's this dumpster go first? Oh, the dumpster goes right by the rat hole, where the rat tails are at. So they show this sitting in the dumpster like that. Well, trust me, I'll salvage that chair. And that's what it is right there, next to the rat. So the rat is kind of trapped in there. They have him sitting in there like that. And after that, let me bring this up a little bit here for you. And they have, maybe it's a rat trap or something. This is what they have right here. Maybe it's the pet rat. We don't know what that is. Is a rat stealing a piece of plumbing pipe? It is possible that he's irresponsible for the leak. So he stole, so that's basically what it is. It looks like he stole the plumbing pipe. Well, what rat would steal it? Thought they steal cheese, not pipes. Yeah, you've got me, folks. I have no clue. And now it looks like we're putting some foliage back here. Next to the dumpster. You think they'd have one around the rat. We got to make this kind of look peaceful in the back. So we got to make 5 of these. The rat. Rat tail. You know what? That's sticking out way too far. I think that is supposed to go right here. I'm just... Well, no, there's actually a space there. Now, for those who are going to say my hand's in the way, I can't do nothing about it. Sorry. Why do I keep bringing it up? Because someone said, Jay, your hands are always in the way. Can you get another camera angle? Sure, you know, I'm always like, okay, give me a GoPro. I never hear back from them. I don't know why. Okay, it goes on the 3rd stud there. I mean, they're just plants. It's not like I'm hiding something from you. Say they're dandelions, but they're not. And that's it for this portion of the build. We still have one nose cone. Now, Lego doesn't really give us those, so let's see here. Is there a nose cone that we're missing? I remember I thought I saw one in here. Maybe it's on the drain pipe. But we do have it. No. I did not put that there. Whoops, my bad. See, I forgot. Sometimes that happens. I'll forget things. Okay. Put that right back in there. Okay. Looks pretty good. Now I think we're done here with bag 7. Looks like we only have 1 apiece. Not too bad. No, I'm trying to pick them all up, but they're small parts. At least we get an extra hot dog there. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, now we're going to move on to bag 8. And while I'm bagging this, I want to thank everyone on my main channel for being contributors, as well as my Patreon supporters. That's always a big help. Why? Oh, because I get to build the big stuff here. And I want to thank everyone for taking the time to subscribe and comment. We'll look at the glass here in a second, because I have a feeling I'm going to be disappointed. As well as my rebrickable customers. That is a keeper. We'll take a closer look at that in a bit. Yeah, I've been getting used to doing shout outs a bit more. Some people like that. Well, maybe a lot of people do. Whoa. Shooting right out of that bag there. Yeah, and you get 2 little bags, we're going to be in here for a while. Especially when we don't have a lot of big stuff to begin with here. Okay. Yeah, look at all that. Look at all those little parts we're going to have to go through tonight. Well, just like the other one, bag 5 took us a long time, and this one's going to take us just as much time. And then now I want to rotate this back around here. Looks like we're focusing our attention right in this area, right over there. And we need 3 of those jumper plates. But before we do, we're gonna... Lego, come on, really? Oh, an 8 it is. We were doing so good. Okay, let me find something black here to show you this. Because I think I need to bring something here that's dark colored now. This is going to warrant the set to have a failing grade. Let me find something. I do not have anything that's dark colored in here at all to really show you. Well, let's take a look at this is dark here. I'm going to show you here. Okay. Look at that. I'm sure you can see that. See that? Look at that. This is why this gets an 8. We're not even done yet. So yeah, that's why I do these. And Lego doesn't really want to hear us complain about that. You know what I always say? Fix it. Not that hard. Just fix it. Okay, that's all I'm asking is just to, you know, fix it. And you think if I ordered from Pick a Brick it's going to be just as bad or just as good? No, it will still come in damaged. I don't know what it is with Lego. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why we do that. And yeah, the next step is we got to get some round bricks here. And we got to put 6 of these on top of one another. And they're just sitting on top. There's no shaft in the middle. So they were more focused on bringing small parts to the set than packing it right. So let's say this set is worth 300 bucks, even 250. I would not, if I saw that, I would be fingering the phone with customer service and say, send me all new glass stuff with this. I'm not playing games when it comes to stuff like that. And this goes right over here. Okay. Next, we'll take a window frame and our heavily scratched piece of glass. I can't wait to do the review on this. Watch, it gets like, and I think it's going to get probably a low score due to packing. And I'll hear somebody, you know, literally will just say, Jay, you're really picky on this. Why are you even asking for this stuff? They just send it to me. And no, I don't want them to hand pack every part and send it to me. I want to get the same type of set you do as the viewer. Because if mine comes in damaged, I'm sure yours is probably, I hope yours comes in better shape than mine. So we'll stick our really beat up, vandalized window and stick that in. Maybe that's where the graffiti guys came in and just started carving their name in it. I remember back in high school, though, that kind of brings up a topic. They didn't have mirrors. They actually had those steel plates that were polished. I don't know how those guys had scratched their names, even in regular glass, though. It boggles my mind. Okay. Alright. So now we got to piece together a column part. It shows a 1x2. Okay, I see. Let's okay, first let's do the 1x2s real quick before we do that. These go over here. Let's do that and get that out of the way. Hey, at least one thing, I'm going to check my memory card here. I got 40. Yeah, I got plenty of time. I don't think it's going to take that long. With all the little parts and the ranting, it might take 1,000,000 hours. Yeah, well, I mean, so far the set's fun to put together. I'm just getting bummed out with all the damaged parts. That's the only bummer on this. And then this piece here goes right next to here. Right in there. That's very loose, so be very careful with that. Okay, now we got to put a header above the window. I know some people say, Jay, you get a little too crazy with dinging points off for scratch parts. Most of the time, if these sets didn't have scratch pieces, they get 9s and 10s. 8 is on the borderline of getting. When it gets to 7, when it gets to a 7, that's really bad. You know what I forgot to do? Put the rest of the parts on there. You know. Okay, there's 2 studs on that. You know, it's in the 50s or the 40s right now, and then hearing the heat flip on. Now, before I had anybody here, I didn't run the heat as much, but now I do. Okay, now we're going to put a little awning above the window. We had one of those frozen lasagna dinners tonight. Wasn't that bad. It's just Sometimes my family makes a little too much, and then I can't eat the whole thing. Like, can you eat the whole thing? I'm like, look at the size of me, and I can't eat that much. Okay, we have to make... Alright, so this has got the blue one. Blue one goes here. Does it go flush, or does it go up high? Okay, it goes like that. Well, that's not going to be enough to hide all that scratched glass there. Jay, can you knock off the scratched glass? No, I can't. I'm going OCD on the quality of this. Oh, I see why, because they wanted to... Alright, I see why these are different. Hell, these would be great for... these would be great for that. Well, they would be. I may have to go in and flip off the heat. In the summertime, they would get too cold in the house. I'd have to flip off the air. And I mean, I would be roasting here alive. But, you know, when you get older people living with you, it's cold. Yeah, before I never ran the heat in my house. Maybe once or twice a year. Because I didn't like running. Now, in the summertime, I'd crank that air. I'd turn that thing all the way down to 70 degrees as I like the house freezing cold. You know, I don't get to do that anymore. Yeah, that's the only downside. I was going to see if my bunch wanted to go out for some seafood tonight, but I'm the one that should have rejected it because I'm tired, you know. I mean, now I'm starting to get tired. But I really want to build this set tonight. I want to get on a Discord call, but you know what? It's not going to happen for a while. We're doing all this small, look at all the small pieces, and I mean, I'm putting all the small stuff back on here. We have one person in our group that just keeps asking about. He wants me to leak things out. I'm like, no, you can wait. Well, why can't you tell him? I said, because you can wait. I said, it's not, you're not waiting a long time. Just wait it out. Alright. See, they really got that seamless in there. Look at that. That's really good. Okay, now it looks like we're focusing more on the wall here. Like right here. Okay, so they got an arrow pointing that there's a 1x1 behind that. I've done that a few times in mine, in my building guides, because it gets kind of brutal. Okay, there's a 1x1 plate. Okay, let's put the round, it's like a quarter round flat tile, place that there, and then there's a plate that goes in here. We're just literally just putting little parts to get this part. Everything's like 1x1s and 1x2s all over again. Alright. And there's a bunch of stuff going on right in this corner right here. So let's kind of get that out of the way real quick. I'm really surprised they have not brought a 1x1 by 2/3 rounded plate. Would be nice, but yeah, I can't ask for too much. Okay, looks like that might be dark gray. Yeah, but these type of pieces here are really handy. I don't have a lot of them to begin with. Okay, and after we get done with that, okay, now it looks like double doors. Let's put these on here first. Yeah, be careful because you got tiles and you got plates and jumper plates that are all the same size pretty much. I've always wanted these French doors, and now we have them. Now if I could just bring out a 3-stud wide door, it'd be pretty cool. Alright, so they put a horn inside of a stud, but I think what I'm going to do is keep my fingers behind the doors, stick the studs on, then stick the horns in. Be easy to handle that. I use these sometimes for door handles too. That's if I can get them in there. These models are just getting more and more smaller parts. See, that's what I've used. Get those in gold would be better. Okay, and then after that we put the bullhorn doors in here. Let's open that up and press that threshold down. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And then now it looks like we're building more stuff here. Let's get going on this. Huh? Oh, okay. I'm skipping a step here. It's like, what? What am I doing wrong here? I couldn't see that. Okay, now I know what I'm doing. Like the absent-minded professor. It's all those studying in college and getting good grades did to me. It made my brain slip up now. So I'm like, wait, what am I doing again? Okay, I was like, why can't I get that in there? Well, now I know why. I think it's already 8 o'clock. That's 8:30. I swear, guys, hold on. I'd like to get on a Discord call, but I can't. I want to build. I wish I could get on call and do this, but I can't because I got to put my input in, and this is before the embargo date, so I got to build alone. So I can't just get on a call and be a chatty Cathy while in this. Matter of fact, if I get on a video call, I throw a sheet over this stuff. I don't trust the blurring out thing, so I just throw a sheet over everything and then I'm done. Alright. Okay, what's with me putting these on backwards? I know I get done over here. I got a few videos I need to edit, and then I got to do some other things here. Alright. Okay, all these minifigures are just getting in my way. So all I've been doing is bumping into these. Alright. I don't know, I don't see a starburst, but it goes on the top here. Alright, so we'll wiggle that in until everything locks in here. There we go. I'm going to open this up and kind of pinch that in there. There we go. Now it's sturdy. But we still, you know, still rain can fall in there. Alright, so we have... Oh, you know what? There was some stuff I forgot to put on that bracket. So there's supposed to be a round brick here and a plate on the other side. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, so this goes there. See what I'm saying? You got to watch the whole video because I do make mistakes. Now it's really sturdy. It ain't going anywhere. And then we use some of these green horns. Snap those right in there. It's a nice little decorative piece for above a door. Okay. Like that. Like a little mustache. Okay, now it looks like we got to get ourselves a shield. That is a nice piece for a furniture store. I just took a shield and printed that on there. And yeah, okay, how does that even fit in there? Okay, so... Okay, I get what we're doing here. So they slip this rod in here like this. Like that. They put it in these holders here. Not too bad. We got a nice sign. I like that idea. That's really cool. Okay, now we got to build a set of outdoor lights. Looks like we're building 2 of these. It's all small stuff now, folks, so we're going to be here for a while. I got to finish up hanging up my permanent outdoor lights for the for Christmas time. I'm still going to hang up traditional lights. Okay, but I just gotta, I want to hide them underneath my soffits, underneath my eaves. And the problem about on houses like mine, for example, they're all stucco. So it's not like I have a soffit to screw into. So that's probably the only downside. The studs are actually upside down here, or right side up. It's supposed to be like that right there. And then after that, some kind of a spear piece goes in there. Like that. But it shows it like that. Okay, we got to make another one. Am I going to be done before Christmas time? I have no clue. Yeah, I did make a bunch of cells off of building guides, which is really cool. So I need to get on there and really start finishing up, loading up building guides for everybody. But it's really kind of, it's been hard because of work. Every time I'd start something, I literally would have to stop. Okay, and these are what these look like right here. And then these go right in these little notches right there. I thought these would have been like that, but no, they're just facing down. I bet you can't put real lights in it. Look really cool. We don't have a lot of parts left. It's just getting pretty intense here. Alright, and then now we're going to be focusing our attention back onto this again. Alright, so we need this arch piece. That goes right there. Let's set the nest. That's why they never had finished that off. And then now we're going to wrap around here. Okay, I need a corner plate. Not a whole lot left. It's just I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. There's no way I could build this all in one night. Like that. And then there's a corner tile that goes right in this area here. We got a hole there. Huh. Let me make sure here. Yeah, there is a hole there. Right there. I was making sure. Sometimes it's always good to check your work. You never know. You could make a boo-boo real easily. Well, I could anyways. That's why I always check a million times. Like right here, we're missing something. So what are we missing there? Alright, so I forgot to put this stud in here right like that. And then we got to put this in here. That should fix that right up. And then this goes on the top. Okay. Let's make sure it looks good. Alright. My nose is trying real hard to drip here, and I'm trying to prevent it. Nobody wants snot all over their bricks, so I'm trying to prevent that. Alright. Like I said, I got a parting gift from work, so hopefully I won't get any more sicker. I don't want to be sick during the holidays. That will not be fun. Who doesn't like... You can only be sick when you want to take time off of work. Oh, okay, so this fits into here. Alright. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this in here first. I think it just rests in there. But see, mine doesn't line up like this. So I might have made a mistake. They show this stud here on this side, but why doesn't that go down all the way? Huh. Alright, well, before we continue on, let's take a look here. See if I can get that to go down any further, but that's as far as it'll go. Well, no, it goes down further, but then it buckles up. I think it's just supposed to be loose like that. But it just shows it's not connected. The book shows it's not connected, but mine's is a lot higher than theirs. Okay, let's see here. Let's dive into this. They didn't show me how this went in, but that's as far as it goes down there. So unless this hollow stud is not supposed to be in there. And if I take that stud out and put that back in there, I don't think that stud was supposed to be in there. Because see, now that's how it's supposed to fit. And I kid you not, for those who are non-believers here, that's what we're messing with there. So, yeah, let me make sure. Let me go back to that back side of the wall there. See if I can get back to the drain pipe again. Okay, there was... I don't think there was a stud there. But there is a stud on that. Let me take a look here. Yeah, sometimes this is what happens. Let me do something here. Let me make sure. I don't want to be stuck on something as silly as that, but I think we are going to have to stick with it here. Oh. Okay, I did do something wrong. Alright. So, we have to take this whole thing apart here. So it goes like that. This goes in here like this. And then this goes on here like that. And of course the little hand piece with the band-aid on it. This is supposed to face away, so it's looking like that. It's like I said, now if somebody was cussing me out or commenting about that, you're going to feel really silly, huh? Now let's try that out again. And that's how it's supposed to look. So what I did was I made a mistake. Now I would have figured, but I don't think these line up. That's probably why they had it facing away there. Because you could see right here they have the stud facing away. That's how mine's is facing. I kid you not, folks, we're going to get there eventually to get this done. I just wanted to make sure here. And that's what we just did there, is just that little piece. And then now we're going to continue on with some bigger pieces, hopefully. Hey, you know, hey, I was kind of a toughie there. It's sometimes, you know, I kind of just go through these real quick. And it's, you know, sometimes either carelessness or something like that. But there's always somebody that will complain about it. You know, if I make a mistake, I'll man up to it. I make lots of mistakes in my videos. I even have it in part of the description, you know, but some just kind of get a little angry about it. But some of you told me in the comments, you don't mind the mistakes, it helps you troubleshoot too. Yeah, that's what I do here. Alright, looks like we got that all figured out. Alright, let's put this on here. Now we're getting ready to flat tile everything off. Kind of a unique design for this, huh? Alright, and they show some gray pieces back here. And then a corner tile goes right here. Oh, that's nice and smooth, huh? Well, we're really getting somewhere on that. Okay. We don't want to count until all our chickens are hatched, huh? We don't want to do that because we're not done with this whole thing yet. So we're using a lot of these round bricks here to clear these corners. If you put a regular tile in there, they would have bumped into that. So they're using it, which is really a cool idea, actually, to kind of interlock it together, but without having any issues with the build. You know. I'm still kind of bummed out over the scratch parts more than anything. Okay, now we got to go back to here. There's an awning that goes over the window. I think it might be an awning. These are nice pieces to have. And this is going to go over that somehow. Flip it upside down. Not very sturdy. Okay. And then that just snaps onto these here. Like that. Not too bad, huh? And the sign, I forgot to put this in here. That, whoops, if I can get that in there. I'd like to scarf a few more of those up. That's a nice piece to have. It's printed and everything. And this goes, put those tubes on those studs right there. May have to take several tries to do it. But there it is. Let me get in there and pinch that in there. There we go. That's what it looks like right there. Now we're not quite done yet because it looks like we're missing some stuff here. So I don't think this is going to be any type of collaborative build. I think this is just you sit and build by yourself. And that's it for bag 8. And yeah, let's see what we have here that's remaining. Right now we're at an 8 due to scratched pieces, so I'll put these away. Alright, summation of thoughts. So I'm pretty disappointed with the scratched parts. Some of the building parts of the building guide could be tricky, but other than that though, the set is still holding my interest pretty firm. So it's not like I'm bored or anything with it. And we haven't put the street lights in. The plumber's got a mess he's going to have to clean up. But for me personally, though, it's... Come on, Justin Bieber. Stand up there and eat your ice cream like a good boy. Okay. I think it looks pretty good so far. So in the next installment, which will be part 5, I think we are working on the second floor. And that's what we're going to be looking forward to there. So I'll probably read ahead in this a little bit and see, but what is that about? Maybe 35, 40%. Well, maybe about 35% of the book's been built, which makes sense as we just finished 8 out of 24 bags. So it does it's about right. But the further we go up, the less parts we're going to use. So I'm sure this is probably the majority of the parts are down here. So yeah, well, tell me what you think so far, and stay tuned because yeah, we got a long ways to go on this project.